Hello, it's Sandra again. This time I'm working on this painting here. It's in the style of Matisse, and I guess you would call it the abstract expressionism. And initially when I painted it, I actually painted it this way. And I keep looking at it, do I like it this way? Or do I like it this way? I think the first selection was best, but for some reason I kept fiddling with it and looking, and I don't know why I'm doing that, but anyway, it's okay. It's only on a tiny canvas, very thin. It's one of my little canvases I play around with, and you know, you don't charge a lot for these, but they're the ones that you learn a lot on, and they're cheap enough to buy. So, but I've been looking at this and thinking, what's actually wrong with it? And I think the white's too white. So I've been looking at, I keep a lot of these charts, and I was going to quickly show you, this is in my program. I've got a colour mixing module that's going to be out just before Christmas, so you might be interested in learning about it. But I show you lots of things on glazing, staining colours, complementary colours that work, and how to create some beautiful colours. Which, you know, you'll learn a lot of stuff on this, and you'll learn to paint similar to this actually on that course. I also do demonstrations, and I've been thinking, looking at my glazing here, and some glazing, I think it needs a bit of light yellow with some of this viridian mixed to give it this, because the white's too stark. So I'm going to try the glazing now, because sometimes it's good just to look at your charts and think, what can I do? And I think it also needs to be brighter. I need to pull out some more brightness. I've got to fix up a little bit of shape around here. It's just not quite the right shape, but that's okay. So it really needs a bit more detail, is really what I'm saying. So let's just start with a simple one. I'm going to mix some of the yellow with this magenta, and get a very, I need another brush, sorry, reaching across here in front of you. I need a very, a bigger brush. Not too much magenta. So let's see what happens. This is a glaze, you're putting the glaze on. Do you see what's happening? It's lightening up already, and it's just the tiniest little bits of pigment of each. These are highly pigmented, these here. So they show up straight away, and look how that just looks so much better. It's not so stark. That was the problem. So you can see here, do the same here. You don't have to worry too much about mixtures. It's just a matter of a very light mixture, lots and lots of water, and you've got to let it dry, because if you don't let it dry and you put wet paint on top of it, sometimes it can peel. You have to be very careful with just using too much watered down paint. I think I'm just going to mix up a little bit more here. In fact, I can run it across. Oops. It's a very light canvas, so it keeps moving around, but that's what they are. They're just little cheapies to play with, really. And they're the ones that you learn a lot from. I'm even going to colour in some of this white here, so it's not quite so stark looking. It can be very soft white, which is what it is. Right, well, I think that's brought the whole thing together more. The white to me just really stood out, and it just didn't have, it made every little piece stand out. I think there's still a little bit more to be added, but I think that's a lot better in that short little video here of 5 minutes. The other thing I need to do is get some of this magenta and just add some, it's got a little bit of yellow in, so it's come out with this sort of toning. So I'm trying to get a few other tonings mixed into here to make it a little bit nicer, not such, this to me is a muddy colour, don't like it. So, and we can always add white to make to lighten it, but I think putting that in is actually added to it quite nicely. And it's softened it actually, hasn't it? So here's a little bit more coming across. Again, it's a very, very weak solution. And if you don't like it, you just get a wet rag and you can just wipe it off. Unless you've got a staining colour, of course. The staining colour, you can't take it away because the stain is left behind. You need to be careful if you're using colours that have a lot of stain in them. I think getting a bit more into it here now, especially up here, just a little bit slightly darker. All right. Yeah, I've got to fix up a little bit around here and start working. I need more definition of what this is, and I'll be doing that today. I'll probably do it on and put it onto my Instagram so you can watch me work. So that's it. That's only a quick little look at how wonderful it is to have glazing methods in your work. So it changes the whole look of it, doesn't it? Just you could see in this lesson why glazing is so important. And when you're glazing, you've got to choose colours that are already in the painting. If you're choosing things that aren't here, it's just going to look like it doesn't fit. At the moment they look like they fit. I could probably darken a little bit up here, a bit more. But again, I'll just see how it dries. I think that's a bit too white. So we'll just add a little bit more here. And it's just so subtle, as you can see. It's just that subtle change of toning that we talk about. Just don't get too heavy-handed. Yeah, that's better, I think. Again, I need to look at it. I think I like it this way. I'm going to be adding more detail, as I said, so watch me do this on my Instagram. It's Sandra Dawn Art. Thanks so much for watching. Be prepared to see a lot of interesting teaching videos coming out before Christmas. I'll keep them cheap, but I'm going to put in these videos, there'll be a lot of my techniques that I've learned over the years that I actually don't just put on my free videos, although I do give you a lot of information. And I'm very generous with my information, but these ones are, it's all about colour. And that's why this works, it's colour. And you need to understand colour before you can start creating. And if you know how to play with colour, just as I showed you there with the glazing, you can actually change a painting from just being ordinary to just being absolutely stunning and outstanding. This is not at that stage. Don't think this is an example of an outstanding painting. It is not. It needs a lot more work to be done on it. Okay, so thanks for watching and thanks for supporting me. Bye.